Hey guys, welcome to Juicy Tea, where I read out the best stories on Reddit, so you don't have to. The funny, shocking, and satisfyingly juicy. Today is Bridezilla Saturday, with the craziest wedding stories from across Reddit. Am I the a-hole for being mad at my fiancée after she banned strippers at my bachelor party? Our first post comes from the Am I the a-hole subreddit, posted by KLavishness5574. I, 29 male, and my fiancée Ava, 28 female, are planning a wedding. Ava put down a boundary that there be no strippers or strip clubs at my bachelor party or at her bachelorette party. I'm not the kind of guy that visits strip clubs. I don't see the point. Ava said she couldn't take the chance that I would cheat on her with a stripper and marry them. I was offended because I've never once even thought about cheating. She was accusing me of being a potential cheater with no proof. Ava defended herself because a friend of a friend, Clara, had strippers at her bachelorette party and she left her fiancé for one of them, so it could happen. I'd met Clara and her husband and kids. They seemed happy and in love. I said that her story means 1, that Ava's more likely to cheat, and 2, that it wouldn't happen because I wouldn't take Ava back if she did cheat on me with a stripper. Ava threw a fit and said that no strippers meant no strippers. I think she's missing the point. You're not upset about there being no strippers. You're upset about her implied accusation. I was furious because she was accusing me of being a potential cheater with no evidence. She said I had no reason to be upset. Edit. I don't drink and I wouldn't have had strippers in the first place. I'm upset because she said that she didn't want strippers because she thought I could cheat on her and marry a stripper. Down in the comments, Perpetual Panda says, I broke up with a fiancé when he told me his idea of a bachelor party was getting the best blowjob ever from a stripper. He absolutely saw nothing wrong with this and didn't understand why it was a deal breaker for me. P&B Steve says, I don't understand why some men boast. It's your last night of freedom, as if they haven't been in a committed relationship this whole time. Yeah, that whole concept of last night of freedom is weird. Like, you know you're allowed to stay single for life, right? But anyway, I don't think OP is the a-hole. He wasn't trying to push her boundary of no strippers. I actually think she's being a bit of an a-hole herself for the accusation, and it's kind of concerning how little she trusts her future hubby. Crazy mother-in-law changed my wedding based on our similar names. Our next story comes from the Wedding Shaming subreddit, posted by LS3016. Almost 13 years, one narcissistic, abusive husband, and a pending divorce, and I can finally share the story about how the apple didn't fall far from the tree. When we got married, Dee, my husband, and I were living 400 miles from our hometown. We were high school sweethearts reunited. I was newly graduated, working in the medical field with little time off. So our wedding planning took place back at home in exactly one weekend. As fate would have it, Dee's sister had gotten married only 3 months prior, and her vendors were fantastic, so my in-laws had relationships with most. So we just rehired the majority, including her DJ, florals, caterer, and I found my dress at the same bridal salon. I chose navy blue for my bridesmaids' dresses, with yellow sunflowers, roses, and daisies. As we were shopping for bridesmaids' dresses, my mother-in-law made a comment that navy was such a drab colour for March, and I should consider a jewel tone. Back then, I thought my mother-in-law walked on water. She was kind, but authoritative, and very well respected in the community. Instead of shutting her down immediately, I said I'd consider it. At the florist, I explained my vision, complete with Pinterest board photos. Oh yes, 2011. My mother-in-law was shocked. Simply shocked. Yellow? Sunflowers? In a Catholic church? They were paying, and 23-year-old me, with $50,000 of graduation loans, wasn't about to turn it down. Sunflowers couldn't be church flowers. I explained that yellow flowers were my favourite, and I felt it would complement the navy dresses. As I left all my vendors, I left the final words that would screw me. If there's any questions, I'm over 400 miles away. Call my mum or my mother-in-law. Oh, did I forget to mention that my mother-in-law and I have the same name? Doesn't seem important, until it was, a week before the wedding. 8 days out from the wedding, one of my bridesmaids called. Hey, I got the dress in the mail. I know you chose navy blue. This seems not navy. Me. Oh, I'm sure it's just lighter than the sample. Bridesmaid. No, you don't understand. It's teal. Teal? Effing teal? Like bad 80s rom-com? I immediately called the dress shop. I was told, yes ma'am, on X date you authorized the color change from navy to serene oasis. No, not possible. I assure you, right here, it says authorized by Laurie Smith. But I'm Laurie Sims until Saturday. Oh, bugger. Let me get my manager. I'm sure by now you can gather that my crazy mother-in-law changed my wedding color to a jewel tone and then said I was on the fence and indecisive and gave her veto power. She played the victim card, complete with crocodile tears to excuse her behavior. If she was really trying to help, she'd have discussed it with you before acting. She can't make major changes like this behind your back and act all surprised that you're upset. If she thought you'd be happy about the change, she would have told you about it. At this point, being 8 days out, there was nothing more I could do. Dee and I sat her down and asked if there were any more surprises. Yeah, oh my god, literally. She denied, cried, passed the blame, and told me I was ungrateful and inconsiderate. To make a long story short, I got married, surrounded by a sea of serene oasis, pink roses and Kalia lilies, and there was a random pig on a spit at a carving station. So she lied. The pig on the spit is cool, gotta give her that, but she went behind your back and then lied about it. If she did nothing wrong, why lie? I hated my wedding photos for years. Now, they're just a few more pictures to burn. She authorized so many changes behind my back, with all the vendors believing they were speaking to me. She never corrected them, as she felt I'd given her veto power. There's so much more about the wedding day, but I'd have to save that for my first short novel. Edit. When I said, if you have any questions, call my mum or mother-in-law, I didn't mean I wasn't involved or didn't care. I meant for the physicality of being able to be present. I still made all the executive decisions, from the cake to the food to the decor. I just couldn't be present to approve the place settings, or pick the napkin folds, so naturally, I delegated these smaller decisions to the two women that I thought I could trust. Mother-in-law knew exactly what she was doing. She went as far as calling the cake lady and changing the ribbon colour and the flowers on the cake to match her vision. Trust me, my guests were plenty confused by the sunflower invites and the sunflower wine corks that were given out as favours. My parents want me to delay proposing to my girlfriend, and they're both mad I said no to that. Our next post comes from the Too Hot Takes subreddit, posted by a throwaway account. I'm going to propose to my girlfriend on Friday. I told my dad and stepmother as they invited us over for dinner Friday night. I reminded them that it's our anniversary and said I was going to propose. Their reaction threw me off because they were both happy for me, but they also asked me to delay my proposal. They said it was because of one of my sisters. They said she was hopeful about getting engaged soon and I should wait until after that before I propose. My mother and stepfather also feel the same way. That sister is in a relationship. However, they've been together for 9.5 years. They have a son and a daughter, they own a condo and a business together, but they aren't married. My sister's partner says he's fine without getting married, and he feels he doesn't need a piece of paper for their relationship to be real. He's been clear, he doesn't want marriage. My sister, on the other hand, really wants to be married and to have a wedding. I don't think I should have to wait. Firstly, because I don't believe a proposal is imminent, like my dad and mum said. Secondly, I don't think I should have to put my life on hold, just for my sister's life, and I don't think her being upset about me getting married when she isn't is on me. My sister has more money than I do, she's a loving partner, and beautiful and healthy kids. If she's upset about me getting engaged, she needs to look at herself. I told my mum and dad, I'm not putting anything on hold. I don't care if the news of my engagement will upset my sister. They didn't take it well, even if they reiterated how happy they are that I'm proposing. They want me to reconsider. What? Your sister's partner's made it very clear he doesn't want to or plan to propose. Why would they think he's about to pop the question? Unless it's like a 10-year anniversary thing. Either way, your proposing wouldn't impact their proposal. Ex-bestfriend showed up at my semi-destination wedding to sit in the parking lot. And our last story comes from the wedding shaming subreddit. Posted by Jareen. I stopped being friends with this girl 7 months ago because she was being toxic, mean, and egotistical. I haven't heard from her since. Because of this, she wasn't invited to my wedding. But on the day of my rehearsal, I saw her car at the venue parking lot, and 2 of my bridesmaids stepped out. Turns out, she decided to join them for my wedding weekend and be their personal driver and sit in the car like a weirdo. She drove them like 3 hours to the venue, then drove them to the rehearsal dinner and the day of the wedding, all while she sat in the car. My bridesmaids tried to discourage her from coming, but apparently she insisted, and they caved. This is so weird. Was she hoping you'd change your mind and invite her in if she creepily sat outside your wedding in the car? One of the same bridesmaids allowed her brother-in-law to take the place of her dad the morning of the wedding, which wouldn't have been too bad if he hadn't shown up in a hoodie, jeans, and a hat. When greeting him, I used my teacher voice to ask what happened to his outfit. This was a semi-formal event, and he was the only one not dressed in pants and a shirt. My only hope is I don't see him in any professional photos, since his table was right next to the dance floor. Remember, I post new content every day, so subscribe for more juicy tea.